Today I'm going to demonstrate the second jean purse. This one requires some sewing, which can be done by hand or with a machine. And since I am not very good at hand sewing, I'm going to do the machine. So what you'll need is a piece of jean leg cut out to the length you want, ribbon for the strap, and your sewing machine and pins. The first thing that you want to do is to roll a top hem, which will be the top edge of your purse. This can be as thick or as thin as you want it to be. I've started rolling mine already because it does take a few minutes to get it done. But you'll notice, and I'll finish it off here, that you don't have to be exact with this. Just start with rolling over what you think the length is that you want your hem to be, and then continue to do it, just sort of eyeballing it and making it about the same all around. You can line it up with one edge, the back edge, against the front edge to keep track of your roll and make sure it's about right. And I'm going to stick one more pin in here. When I sew this, because my machine is not industrial and heavy duty, I'm going to start sewing it at the thick edge of the side seam, and I'm going to end it. So I'm going to start here at the thick edge and end just before I get back to the seam. That way I won't have to fight that. So line it up. And then just sew a straight line. You don't have to be an expert seamstress to do this, and it doesn't have to be exact either. Again, if you're a little wavy, it's not really going to be very noticeable. And you can also, if you use the very bottom edge of your pants or your jeans, you won't have to do this step because the hem is already made for you. And I'm almost done with this now. Just a tiny bit more. There we go. Finish that off. Okay, and then you'll want to cut it and remove your pins. I'm just going to toss these down. And then the second part you're going to want to do is to sew your bottom edge. And this is even easier and doesn't even really require pinning, although you can pin it if you want to be a little bit neater, but I usually just want to be quick with this. So just line up your edges and feed it under. I have to re-thread one moment because sometimes your thread does break. Okay, now we can do the same thing, and I'm going to just do this sort of a typical 5/8 inch seam. Let me get that started there. Just a straight line. Done that, again, you can flip it inside out and see your basic form. And then the last and very easy step is to attach. So this is our basic form, and we can attach our ribbon to this on the inside. So what you want to do to make sure your ribbon doesn't unravel on you, fold it under and then put that folded edge right against the seam so that your insides are together. And this should be if not on the side seam, then very near to the side seam. And if you want to do one edge of your ribbon to the front of your purse on the side and one to the back, then that's a good way to avoid that side seam. And I'm going to do this way. So we slip it under, oops, my needle's down, slip it under there. And just sew straight across again. Cut that, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Flip your strap across, roll it under a tiny bit to make sure the seam doesn't unravel, and this time I'm going to go to the back of my purse. Oops, I rolled that under the wrong way. Roll it under this way. And I do like to pin these down because it is a little bit hard to hold them once you get under the needle. And once again I came unthreaded. I think I'm proving today that you don't have to be an expert or particularly great at sewing to do this project. It will get done even if it takes a little bit of redoing things. There I go. Okay. Done. Then you just take your fabric out, cut that string, pull it out from under there, and a little jean bag that you can put books or whatever else in. And again, the kids can decorate this with markers or other embellishments. Thanks.